I'm probably gonna end up titling this something melodramatic like the worst volume, or this is so horrible, or some exaggerated garbage, slightly exaggerated, I guess. But all in all, I wouldn't really consider the volume to be that awful as a whole, or at least not the whole thing, I should say. The entire first half of this volume is probably the most annoyed I've felt yet watching RWBY, though. Ironwood shooting the council and becoming a needless obstacle to the team, Ren being mad about nothing, the heroes getting into this forced argument and it's splitting up, Cinder being the most obnoxious character along with her wasted potential. The entire thing was the most blatant filler that I've seen in a while. And not saying that I hated the first half of Volume 8, but that there were very few times during that first half where I wasn't feeling like time was just being wasted for the sake of it. So let's cover the few things done well in that first half, along with some of the quick annoyances. First up, geez, how many times have I said first already? Alright, to start with, the new opening is another great one, with how it becomes increasingly apparent what everything in it means as you get farther into the volume itself, along with each and every major character in the volume making an appearance and receiving dedicated moments. That feeling of hopelessness that's prevalent throughout the whole thing really emphasizes that everyone's starting to doubt themselves, as nearly every victory has been immediately followed by a worse defeat. Ironwood shooting the councilman is a definitive nobody liked that moment, but we know that. While I did have problems with the group split up argument, whatever that garbage was, it was cute to see Penny's group goof around for a bit. And we also got what was probably the first definitive explanation of a semblance. Nora breaking down the door was a well-animated moment, even though overall her and Ren specifically, having this mini couple spat thing, I don't even know what the heck to call it. It has no business really being here. Like Ren pouting over nothing ever since like Volume 7. It's really unnecessary, as both Ren and Nora had their arc back in Volume 4 when they overcame their past demons and moved forward as a team, as a couple, like together, you know. However, I did value the moment between them around the second half of the volume, where Nora said that she wants to be more comfortable with herself, as they've always just been a duo, as they've always been like Ren and Nora. But I think it opens the door for more growth for both of them, which I'll be glad to see. Salem is one of, if not the most entertaining character in this series. And when Oscar woke up and Salem was just standing there in the corner, I don't know if it's because of the way she speaks to Oz or because of how she seems to act around them, but when this first played out, I just couldn't stop laughing for some reason. Like, all I could imagine was Oscar and Osmond having an internal discussion. Like Oscar saying, "Who is she?" And Oz being like, "My wife." "Well, why is she eyeing me like that?" "Oh dear." Like, I need to see a good meme of just their internal discussions about him seeing her. I know it's not intentionally funny or anything, but
it's not funny, Ed. Hey, shut up!
Jokes aside though, Salem is genuinely one of the better characters in the show. From her way of speaking down to her movements, everything about her has such a nonchalant, been here, done that type feel to it. That's like, she's an antagonist, yes, but you can't hate her. Even how she just speaks so calculatingly and maintains such a calm demeanor, and only really seems to lose that cool whenever Ozpin or somebody starts trying to lie. Although, let me bring it down here. I do think a more interesting way of getting information out of Oscar and Ozpin, right, would have been if she somehow peered into Oscar's mind, you know? Something along the lines of a thing where she can see both Oscar and Ozpin in a sort of projected mental space or something. so that both her and Ozma would take their original forms and have a cool moment or something along those lines. I don't know, it's just something I thought about. It might have been cool. I'll talk about these Jokers in a bit, but Penny working hard to live life her way and activating the tower was a great way to see more from around the world of Remnant and what's been happening, or at least how the other citizens responded to the message and all that. I will get to this, but oh yeah, and Aesop still belong in the garbage bin. All right, here we go. Time for the second half, end of episode 7 and onwards. Now, I feel fully justified in being annoyed with the first seven or 8 episodes of Volume Hit. Can't remember right now, but it was dragged out and could have been solved in like an episode or so. I get that the heroes are worn down and are at their wits' end, but still, didn't need to be like this. However, the second half is something that my disdain towards is not quite fully justified for, or at least I don't feel as if it is at this point. Like I could expand on it more. But I don't want to spend this video rambling about my gripes with how things could have been, as that's more fit for like a theory video or a me complaining video or some junk like that. For these volume vids, the ones I've done now and in the past or whatever, I just wanted to watch the volume and then have a sort of quick thoughts / mini review and impressions type video, you know. Just, oh wow, this happened and that happened and yada yada. So here, I'm going to try to remain as chill as humanly possible while discussing the rest of the volume. So let's try it.
5 minutes later.
I was going to do a stupid joke here, you know, come out yelling or being loud and fast talking, the opposite of chill, like something real stupid. But not going to do it, change my mind. But I will just drop this here.
What are you?
It's my turn to ask for something.
It's her!
Very predictably, my gripes start at episode 9, exactly where everyone switches sides, because, oh my, who could have foreseen that the woman who manipulates beasts of destruction has destroyed multiple cities, presumably killing many men, women, and children, has worked with someone like Tyrion, looks like this, and is actively out to do harm to the world, and perhaps, just perhaps, she does not value human life. Wow, who could have deduced such a thing? It's simply incredible that Emerald, Mercury, and Hazel were all able to come to such a conclusion so quickly. It only took them like 4 volumes, just simply incredible. Oh yeah, real quick, let me backtrack for a sec. Episode 8, New Grimm looks kind of interesting. We'll see where it goes though. And Weiss's family makes me happy. Good characters, job well done. Okay, back to episode 9. Sarcasm aside, it was good to see Hazel and Emerald come to their senses and help out. Just way too overplayed and ended up making their characters feel really dumbed down just so we could get a cheesy feel-good moment. Neo. No. Alright, be cool. Let's move to something I actually liked. Salem again.
What? These children? This ruined world? Why?
This is an incredibly well done scene. The small tones that play as she's wandering up to her composed expression, and it's like looking at Oscar. She just saw a glimpse of Ozpin and just lost it all over again. It's just extremely well done. I love that moment, and whoever made her slide across the floor in such an inhuman and off-putting manner deserves some praise too. That is just, that's weird. That, along with how she cricks and cracks her body back together, you know, recovering from everything, only to then come back with such a placid, almost disappointed expression. It's just marvelous. Gee, this is a good character, man.
Her again?
Gonna cry?
Let's see, what else? Arthur and Sin, no rants, keep it moving. Not touching this ironwood crap either, that's just what it was, that sliding past. Little reunion, it was okay. Emerald's awkward little pep talk, it was endearingly awkward, I'll give it that. The staff guy, well, balance has been achieved, I suppose. And the team being as thorough as possible to beat the usual genie nonsense, whatever that usual stuff is, where they take everything super literally. It was actually pretty well done. It was nice to see that. And Penny becoming fully human now, in mind and body, it was the definition of heartwarming. And her jumping around, hugging everyone with such a childlike wonder was cute as heck. Alright, without going on too much of a rant, let me stop saying be cool and messing around being stupid and just straight up address the finale and the rest of these issues solely using what was given in the show itself. To begin with, seeing the finale and thinking about Volume 8 for these past few weeks up and out, I've started to realize that RWBY almost has the inverse problem of most other shows, where instead of giving the heroes plot armor and having them win every engagement, the villains, specifically Cinder, they all have the plot armor essentially, where they're the ones that always come out on top somehow, all to just have a dramatic ending to each and every season. It's good that the heroes don't instantly win, but having them lose relentlessly is almost as bad as if they had just kept winning. It's good that the writers can create obstacles and make the heroes endure hardships, but it no longer felt natural with Volume 8. You can't make me feel anything when every single volume the villains start, quotation marks, killing characters. Because it's nothing new when we've done this same exact thing every single time now. It invalidates the tension as everything occurring doesn't feel earned or warranted in the slightest, and it all just holds about as much value as seeing who's getting voted off an island in like total drama or something. Cinder being this cunning, spiteful evil who just wants power is what they've been going for the past volumes. She kills, she laughs at suffering, she only cares for herself. Fine. She's like female M. Bison, and that's what they want, I guess. But the thing about M. Bison or Quan Chi, Geese, why am I naming fighting game villains? And like episodic cartoon villains, I guess, is that they can be nonsensically evil because they're not really meant to be explored or considered as meaningful characters, really. They exist just to get the plot moving. They do things just so that the games and the shows can occur and have action. That's it. They are literal plot devices personified, and that's fine considering what those characters are part of. But when we're talking an 8-season long, 100 some episode series pulling the same crap repeatedly, it ceases to be dramatic and no longer elicits an emotional response from me. I just sit there watching, wondering, questioning what the point of it is, or what the long-term objective of the show is and where it's trying to head. And with Cinder's flashback and moment with Arthur, I thought that perhaps, just maybe, it would mean something for her character. That maybe she was heading into unknown territory and the writers would explore her or something, anything. But nope, back to business as usual. Attacking civilians though it gains her nothing, laughing maniacally, plotting to betray the few people who've ever shown any level of care for her essentially, and killing the one dude who started to try to understand, right? I watched and felt disconnected as I realized that just like the other fictional villains I named and stuff, Cinder was here to be a plot device, existing solely to try and pull a response out of the viewer. Same thing went for Ironwood's sudden turn in character, Neo's determination to kill RWBY even though she knows full well what idiots got Torchwick killed, Emerald, Hazel, and the Aesop's now miraculously growing consciences as if they were all just incompetent idiots beforehand. All of it just undermines that same image that was created for those characters when they were first introduced. It's just, all that's for another vid, I guess, but that's the sort of thing that's been running through my head. Penny's gone, but I did think it was a great send-off for her, and the song Friend is just beautiful. Telling her life from beginning to end. I'd love to see a brand new AMV for Penny with that same song, where it's not just a compilation of clips from the show, but a newly animated thing of her doing all the cute things that she wanted to in life. And while I did have many qualms with the volume itself, it did end up on a major cliffhanger, and from this point, the story could very well take a turn anywhere, so the odds are at least in their favor, and they have more of an opportunity to try and expand or fix any problem they may have seen. I don't know. I think this will probably end up being the lengthiest RWBY video I've done yet, and it figures with all that happened, I guess. Yeah, I've still got one more RWBY video I want to put out, talking about Volume 9 and the future of RWBY videos and yada yada, blah blah blah. But from here on, I think I'm just going to take it down a notch with the upload frequency. I don't want this to become like some job where I feel obligated to force out something just to meet a deadline, because when I do, it affects the quality of my vids and the enjoyment I get out of making them. So there may end up being longer periods between videos from here on in, but thank you for anyone who's actually stuck with me through all these volumes over the past few months, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I won't be gone. I'll be part of you.
Good. I'm glad.